Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me today for an update with the AMG GT R. Now I realised that the last time this car properly featured on the channel was actually now 3 months ago. It was one of the final days of the season at the Nurburgring Nordschleife, soon after doing the RENNtech twin turbo upgrade, and I took the car out for a few quick laps. Since then it's been in a couple of vlogs here and there but not really featured prominently, and loads of you guys have been asking me questions about it. What is the plan from here? Am I going to be selling it? Am I going to keep it? When's the AMG GT R Pro coming? Will I do any more upgrades to it? Am I going to be taking it on any trips or adventures this year? So today my plan was to take it out for a drive, a bit of a fuel for thought about what's going to be happening in the future, take it over to Posh Wash to get the car cleaned up, because I have driven around 1,000 kilometers, 700 miles or so in it in the time that I haven't been filming with it, if that makes any sense. And then I'll pop over to the storage because I want to bring the Senna out. It's actually a really nice day today. So let's get started then. Today it's about the GTR. Confusingly, it's actually now back onto summer tyres, so I recently took it over to Posh Wash. We removed the winter tyres and replaced them with a brand new set of the OEM Sport Cup 2s, which no doubt you're familiar is quite a track-orientated tyre. And with the power upgrades that we had done to the car, the Stage 2 package from RENNtech, if you remember, we dynoed this car at 763 horsepower and over 800 newton meters of torque, which of course is all going through the rear axle. You have to be very aware having track tyres on the car, especially with the kind of weather you see over winter. I can tell you, unless you've got temperature in them, it does get kind of slippery. Now, I'd popped the winter tyres on originally to make it possible to use the car over winter, but basically I found that I've used my 2 Focus RSs, swapping the winter tyres that I have for those back between the cars depending what I've wanted. And I thought I might take this car over to Germany, which is quite relevant because in Germany, if you're driving in bad weather conditions, if you don't have winter tyres on your car, basically if you get involved in an incident, it is your fault without question. But I'm not going to take the car over until the weather gets better, until the spring comes around, so I decided I'd pop it back on the Sport Cup 2s in order to better handle the amount of power it has, because even the winter tyres in the dry do kind of struggle with almost 800 horsepower going through the back. They're very, very wide tyres. Anyway, we're back on the Sport Cup 2s. In general terms, like I said, I haven't really made videos with it, but I have taken the car out and driven it a fair amount over winter. It's an AMG GT R after all. Most of them only do a couple of thousand miles a year, and this one has done the best part of 1,000 miles over winter. And in fact, if we just come through to take a look, we are now on 18,691 miles, which by my reckoning must be 30,000 and almost 100 kilometers. 30,000 kilometers in a car that is 15 months old. That is some serious driving, and the memories already, the track laps at the Nurburgring, the Nurburgring Grand Prix, the road trips, the Where's Shmee tour, the RENNtech upgrades, the Autobahn blasts. This car has done so much in its short time already. It's a very special car to me, and that is why I am going to be upgrading it in due course to the AMG GT R Pro. But I'm also very aware that the GT R Pro is actually slightly less practical overall than the GTR. For example, it has an extended front splitter, and that's where you can see that this thing actually really needs a wash. It also has a cage in the back, which takes away from some of the usability and practicality side of things, even though it will have the upgraded technology. But I have so much fun with the driving experience from this, and I want to talk a little bit more as well about more upgrades to this car and potential upgrades to the GTR Pro in time. But one other thing just to mention quickly, we do still have a few of the 1:18 scale mini Champs AMG GTR models that replicate the exact Shmee-mobile as you see it here. So you'll find a link to those in the description down below. For the moment though, let's just come through and get this car started up, because it does still sound ever so fantastic. This is the thing that I still can't get my head around. AMG make a twin turbocharged engine that sounds this good. And that's valve closed in comfort mode. When it's done its cold start sequence, you can then open the exhaust, pop it into individual, whatever it may be. But the big difference is with the Pro is that this will be a full digital display. That will be a larger display with the new software. It will have things like AMG track pace. I hope you can still hear me over the noise of that old burble going on back there. But the GTR has a very soft spot in my heart from all of these memories that I've actually built up with the car. Let's just open the exhaust. There we go. get the point. You get the point. This thing is just mega. Anywho, let's take it out now for a little drive and go over some more thoughts about the car. Alright then, let's do this. Unfortunately outside, of course, it is a lovely day today, even though it is winter, so that means sunglasses will be on. Now, one of the things I like quite a lot about this car is when you consider the performance that it has, the capabilities and what it can achieve, it also has a disturbing amount of usability, particularly in terms of getting the car in and out of my garage. And this is where the GTR Pro is not going to be quite the same. Just the parking sensors for a moment because I was close to the wall, but I've got a quite steep ramp that I have to get up. But this car can just do it. You've got four-wheel steering, which helps massively to get around the corners, but you don't scrape the front, you don't scrape the underbody. It is nice and easy, simple as that, and some of the cars can be a little bit harder to get in and out. Anyway, I'm heading over to Poshwash, enjoy the drive. I can see it's sunny, so off we go. As I go down London's Park Lane then, onto the actual questions of the day, and firstly, am I going to be selling the AMG GT R? Well, I make no secret of the fact that, fingers crossed, eventually if I get an allocation, I'll be changing the car up into the AMG GT R Pro. But lots of you guys, I think, thought that I had actually already sold the car, purely given I hadn't filmed a video with it or really posted it in a while, but it is still very much here. I've just made so many videos with it that I think it's slightly less exciting for you guys, but it is a car that I truly love driving. I use it so much for everything. It's been to IKEA, it's helped me move big things around, I've been around tracks in it, I've had so much fun driving it that I don't see it going anywhere in a particular hurry, unless of course it is superseded by the later version, the new version of the GTR itself. So at the moment it is going nowhere. I'm keeping the car. However, in terms of upgrades, there's only one other thing I think I would be tempted to change, knowing that it might not last forever, and that would be the brakes. The brakes, the factory stock brakes, not the carbon ceramics, aren't really up to track work when you have this much power. I've discovered that at the Nordschleife. Basically, you lose a bit of brake feel because of, well, how much power the car actually has and how much stopping power it therefore requires. So I might go back to RENNtech to upgrade the brakes, depending how much track work I think I might do with it this summer. I don't really know yet, to be honest, and then of course I just have to see what happens, because it's a big unknown when it comes to this car. It's the supercar that you can genuinely daily and use for just about everything. You've got stop start, for crying out loud. If I go into individual, it will fire the engine up and open the exhaust valve. It's looking pretty busy here at the moment, but we're very near and shortly to arrive at Poshwash. You can use it for everything. It's very comfortable and relaxing to drive. It just ticks every box, and I'm very aware that the GTR Pro won't be quite so good for that. And he's going right, I need to go left. This is really busy. So the GTR Pro isn't going to offer me the same levels of usability that the GTR does. Even there, the tyres are a bit cold. Brand new tyres, I will add, brand new tyres never have as much grip until they've kind of been worn in a little bit. Scrubbed in, I think would be the right term for it. So selling, not in a hurry. Keeping, yes for now. More upgrades, maybe the brakes. GTR Pro, when's that coming? Unknown. UK allocations haven't been done at all yet, so it would be impossible for me to say. Of course, I'm fingers crossed and hopeful that I'm going to get one. I think a pretty good example of using the car as intended, really. This isn't what it was intended for. What it was intended for is Nordschleife and autobahns and out there driving properly across Euro trips and building up the miles. Unfortunately, this is really busy. I was hoping to get a small little stretch for you guys, but alas, not today. Maybe now. Okay, that will be the end of that. So GTR Pro, even if I do get one, at best it's going to be the end of the year. So this car is going to make it through 2019 pretty much, unless something changes, or somebody comes along and makes me a crazy offer for it I can't refuse, and then hey, just mix it up for the channel. For now though, it's sticking around. GTR Pro upgrades, well, I feel like that car's been so much more finely tuned, and it would almost be wrong to do that kind of thing. Oh, it's difficult, it's hard to say, it's hard to know, but we'll see how I feel at the time. For now, just pulling into the gates to Poshwash, so let's get this car cleaned up. Sounds good, doesn't it? So that's a startup in individual. Just listen to that, the turbo whistle as well. This noise is never boring. That's the one thing that even on the GTR Pro I might want to do, is the downpipe. Even if I don't do the full Stage 2, because technically the GTR Pro has the same engine, the same stock engine, so I could transfer all of the upgrades, the blow-off valve, the ECU, the downpipe, and the turbos from this car to the new car. Yeah, options. Anyway, now it's in the Posh Wash bay, ready to be cleaned. And magic, one washed down car, now needing a dry down, and the interior as well, of course. I'm still armed with all my cameras, but much, much, much better than it was. And I always like, when I'm putting cars away for a little bit, to make sure that they're clean before, because if you're going to cover the car and that kind of thing, it's nice to come back to a car that was cleaned, fueled, and basically left in good condition, ready for the next time. All right, all clean. Let's jump back in, take the car on now over to the storage. So, back into life. It's so good, especially when you get that kind of back crackle pop afterwards. All right. It is silly, honestly, it's absolutely silly. So, let us take this car over now. It definitely always feels better driving a car that's clean, as I'm actually just crossing London's Oxford Street, which is of course a very big and busy shopping street. Now, one thing that I do quite like about this car is if you press really firmly down on the brake, it engages what it calls hold, and then you don't have to, if you had it in comfort, it would stop the engine. You don't have to hold the pedals or anything. It does keep your brake lights on until you then press the throttle and start the engine up and move away. Now, that sounds really obvious, but it actually does it in a much neater way than many other cars do that kind of behaviour with stop-start. Weird one, I know, but it just makes the car more relaxing and enjoyable to kind of use and daily drive, I guess. This really is that package of daily exciting car that still offers amazing performance and on the limit crazy driving when you're at a racetrack or a nice twisty mountain pass or that kind of thing, which is why I don't see selling it, even if I'm not making so many videos with it. I still want to use the car as much as possible and take it out and have fun. So like I said, I'm heading over to the storage. I'm going to park this car up. I'm not going to film my drive with the Senna today, but I do have some very big plans that I am going to be filming with the Senna and with the Ford GT in the coming future. Some really cool videos that I'm looking forward to sharing with you. And then of course we get to the summer season. Now, I don't know where this car will go and when, other than it looks like I'm going to be putting on quite a cool show for you guys at the IAMS, the Amsterdam Motor Show, with this car and a fair few of the others on display, and I'll probably be there too, so more information on this will come. I'm going to be hosting some meetings in Amsterdam. It'd be great to catch up with all of you in the Netherlands, and lots of the cars will be there as well, but wait for the final confirmation of exactly what's going to be happening. And then we've also got a few other events: Car Freitag, Spring Event, hopefully Cars and Coffee Pressure, just things I need to work out and adjust in the schedule as well. But this car will then do some Nurburgring laps again for sure, which is why I was talking about maybe upgrading the brakes. But all the information about the events that I'm going to be at in the description down below, over to the Shmee150 website, and I'll try and keep you guys as updated as possible. So that's a wrap for today, and we've got a very colourful lineup here in the storage at the moment. The red, yellow and blue, the red of Benzene Ben's Mustang, the Solar Dub Yellow GTR, and of course the MSO Cerulean Blue of the Senna. We've got a gap for the Ford GT, and the GT8 and the LT are tucked up under their covers as well. You'll probably notice inside the car is the Your Car poster that I recently showed you in the Topaz update with the Senna. Unfortunately, there's no luggage space in that car, so I had to transport it in the passenger seat. But anyway, today was all about the GTR. I hope I've answered some of your questions about whether I'm selling it, about whether I'm keeping it, and my plans for it. That car, as well I think as the Senna and the GT8 and the LT, are hopefully all going to be at the IAMS, so stay tuned for more updates on that as well. For now though, I hope you're looking forward to some more videos with this car as we get in towards the spring and summer season and the events around Europe. But that's it for today. Thank you very much as always for watching, guys. I appreciate your support. Oh, one more thing to tell you about. The Beast of the Black Hell merchandise. The Shmee150 shop has a last run of the merchandise for this car as well. 10% off everything for the rest of this month. The link to the shop in the description down below. You don't want to miss that one out, so head on over, have a look, see if there's anything there you like. So thank you very much again. That's it for today, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers.